Hey everybody, welcome to my live video reading about Wendy Williams. Wendy. What in the world is going on with Wendy, you guys? Let's find out what's going on with Wendy in this reading. I hope you're all doing well. Thank you for being here. Make sure if you're new, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit the bell next to the subscribe button so that you get notification whenever I go live. And also, if you would like a personal reading from me, I am an astrologer as well as a psychic tarot reader. Make sure you check out my website, LamarrTownsendTarot.com. I would love to read for you. Wendy. Oh my Lord. What's going on with Wendy, you guys? All right, there's a lot going on in the headlines lately. Her husband's cheating on her. She's sick. Remember her child had a moment, with K2, something like that. So I just want to know what is going on with Wendy. What's happening with the Wendy Williams Show? Will it survive? Will it thrive? Let's see what's going on. Good morning, Gumbo Yaya. I hope you guys are doing well. So let's just get right into the reading, you guys. I'm snowed in at my aunt's house. So let me just show you guys. I don't know if you guys can see all the snow outside, but yeah, I'm snowed in. Make sure you guys like the video. So I'm not at my actual apartment, if you guys are wondering why the backdrop looks different. So let's just see what's going on with Wendy Williams, you guys. All right, let's clear the energy of this deck. Thank you for clearing the energy of this deck from many past readings. In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost, in Jesus' name I pray and thank you. Amen. Amen, amen, and amen. Good morning, Crystal. I know I'm on really, really early. This is unusual for me to be on this early. What's going on with Wendy Williams? What do the angels, ancestors, and protectors have to say about Wendy Williams? What's going on with Wendy? Is she really sick? What is she sick with? What's going on with Wendy? Why are we seeing a breakdown of Wendy right now? Why are we seeing Wendy leaving her show and going through the moments in the headlines right now? What's going on with Wendy behind the scenes? I want to know what's going on behind the scenes. Yes, Crystal. Hey, Neo Soul Bra. How are you? Crystal, I will answer your question. Thank you for the $9.99 donation after I do Wendy. All right. By the way, if you would like a live reading, it is $5 to $10 for one question, $20 for two questions, $30 for three questions, so on and so forth. And you can send a payment to my PayPal or a super chat. I do have the PayPal link if you guys are interested. So, and I'll just post it right now. Let's see what's going on with Wendy. Let's maybe do like 2 more shuffles, you guys. Get a good, really good shuffle going. All right, one more. What's going on with Wendy Williams? Wendy Williams. Make it a good one, God. Wendy Williams. Okay, Wendy, let's see. The past is the 6 of Wands, so I think Wendy is in conflict with people behind the scenes. I think Wendy's in conflict with people behind the scenes. I think she's in conflict with a woman in specific, like a power player woman. You see the line with kind of the tiara in the background? To me, that signifies Wendy being in conflict with a woman of some sort, like a power woman. And it feels like this woman actually doesn't work on the show, but has a hand in the show in some way. So she's in the background, whoever this woman is, and I just see Wendy having conflict with her. It almost feels like it's interesting because it's the lion, and in the kind of what do they call it? The circus. They have the lion tamer. It's almost like this lion is Wendy's lion tamer, whoever this woman is. I get the 7 of Wands, so she's definitely not going, not having a good time right now. There's a lot on the table for her, and when I say that, it means either to be taken off the table or to be cut in half, whatever's on the table. Like, I feel like there's a lot on the table for her, including the show, and there's some changes going to be made, in the next few months, few weeks, obviously, as we can see. But even moving past, what we already know, like, into, the next few months, once again, I feel change for Wendy and the Wendy Show. And unfortunately, a lot of these changes are out of her control right now. All right. She's definitely worried about her coins. I think that's one of her biggest worries is her coins, her money, saving her money. I feel like we might start to see her kind of suddenly do like paid promotion, paid advertising, something like that, or like she may start endorsing things because she's very focused and worried about her money. And there is something about the Wendy show, which I think is her main money maker, is what I'm sensing. There's something about the Wendy show where, like I said, there's a lot on the table, including her piece of the pie. You know, her piece of the pie is also on the table as well. Excuse me, you guys, I have to take a sip of water. I'm really thirsty. Oh, this piping hot tea, honey. All right, let's pull some more cards. Princess of Cups. There is something about Wendy where she's a good actress, I think, for the most part. But I think there are moments when Wendy cracks, and I think right now she's cracking. Also, I see a replacement, a younger woman replacement, and I see Wendy having an issue with this younger woman replacement. So I don't know if there's just going to be one replacement for the show when she's having her moments, or if she's going to have once again a panel of people, and maybe this woman's in a panel. But I feel like Wendy's going to have an issue with this woman replacement that will be on her show when she's not there. Three of Swords. So there's a lot going on behind the scenes. I think Wendy's in conflict with more than one person, specifically three people behind the scenes, I think, who are actually stabbing her in the back in some way. So I think there are three people behind the scenes. I'm going to say two men and one woman. There are two men and one woman in this picture. I feel like there are more than that, but specifically there are at least three people behind the scenes spilling her tea. I think these people are in her camp that actually work on the Wendy show. I get the Four of Wands. So there's something about Wendy where she doesn't like to face the problem. She doesn't like to face the music. She would rather pretend the music isn't playing. She would rather pretend that the music is just a figment of our imagination or her imagination. You know, like Wendy is the type of person who she's like out of sight, out of mind. But it's not working for her anymore. That kind of way isn't working for her. There's also something about Wendy where she kind of knows things, but she chooses to ignore it. So there's something about her where she knows these three people don't have her best interest at heart, but she chooses to ignore it. Not working for you, Wendy. Ignoring things, as we can see. I love you, though. And we have the Magician here. So there is something about Wendy where she always has a way to kind of pull it back, snatch it together, you know, get on camera, you know, and do her job. But then I feel like, you know, once the cameras are off, you know, behind the scenes, there's just a lot of commotion. That's when she loses control. It's almost like Wendy, when she's on camera, it's like she tightens up, you know, her emotional muscles stiffen. And then once it's like the cameras are off, she, you know, loosens up and, you know, go soft again. So there's something about her where she's able to kind of face the music when the spotlight's not on her, I think. But now that the spotlight is on her, I think she's really going through, oh my gosh, how do I get through this? You know, I've never been through this type of thing before. I don't think Wendy has ever, you guys have to let me know. I don't think Wendy has ever been through this kind of media SHIT storm. All right. Like, I don't think she's ever been through this type of situation before. Sup, Lamarr, I loved your readings. Thanks. Might be getting another one soon. Hey, Coro, how are you? You guys are going to have to let me know. I don't think Wendy has ever gone through this type of media sensation, this type of media scrutiny before. So I think there's something about her where she can't really handle it. You know, sorry. She's having trouble handling it. And I think part of it is because she has people in her camp that are stabbing her in her back, stabbing her behind the back. There are three people, Wendy, I'm sticking to this. There are three people on your team, at least two men, one woman. And I want to say one of the men works in a department where you wouldn't even assume that he would do this to you. Like it feels like this could be the art department or like it's like a department that has an integral role, but it's like really like buried behind the scenes kind of thing. And I used to watch her after show, so I kind of know what I'm talking about, but there's something where it's just like trying to figure out the motives behind for these people. Whoever this woman is, she wants to be hidden. But I think these two men are actually working together, whoever they are. And I think the woman prefers to be hidden, but I think these three definitely know each other and know each other intimately. Whether they're working together to spill your tea, to bring you down in any way, Wendy, I'm not sure. But I definitely know that at least three people behind the scenes are spilling tea, are calling media outlets and saying, hey, this today, Wendy did this. And that's what I see with these people. So, and it's interesting because I feel like, Wendy, I would say, hey, maybe it's time to kind of rehire people, fire some people. But I feel like even with that, it's a little bit too late. Okay, let's pull more cards. I get the Four of Cups here. The Prince of Swords. Wendy, I feel like there's something where if you continue to just kind of hope that this passes by, if you kind of continue to pretend it doesn't exist, pretend it's not happening. I see things, turning for the worst for you. Um, Within at least 4 months, 4 years. 4 months, 4 years. So 4 months from now, right now it's January, February, March, April, January, February, March, April, May. All right, I want to say 4 months, 2020, wait, 2029, 2019, 2020, 21, 22, 23. 4 months, 4 years, Wendy. I think if you don't get a handle over this media sensation that's happening to you right now, I think money could be affected. I think your money could be affected. And I think your health, your emotional, mental health, as if it's not already being affected. But I think even more so. Like, I think 4 months, 4 years, if Wendy doesn't get this together in some way, we may start to see the breakdown of Wendy. Let's pull a few more cards. Yeah, I don't think Wendy is the best at dealing with her problems in healthy ways. I think she's the type of person who prefers to ignore them and hope that they work themselves out, or prefers to ignore them and act like they don't exist. Doesn't always work out for Wendy, all right, even in her personal life. But we can see this is definitely not working out for her right now. So let's see the fate of the Wendy Williams Show. What's going on with the Wendy Williams Show? We already know who one of those men are. Exactly. Who do you think it is, Shaquana? You might be right. Hopefully she speak on it when she returns, if she returns. That's what I'm hoping. I think that would be good for Wendy if you spoke on it, spoke about what you're going through. But I don't think ignoring it is going to work for you, Wendy. It's just not. I don't think it is. And I also feel there's something about your watchers where they're going to start to kind of, I don't want to say turn on you, but they're going to start to side eye you. Like, okay, what is really up with her? Like, I know she's in front of the camera right now. She's doing her job. Nothing's out of the ordinary, but something is up with Wendy. Like, your true watchers and fans are going to start to kind of like question and second guess you, I feel, as if some of them already aren't now. I think it's 4 months. I think it's 4 months too, but I still think something could happen in 4 years as well. 2023. All right, let's see if she doesn't get it together, because there's a chance for Wendy. Let's keep it real, to pull this together, and stand in her truth. 2019 is the year of standing in your truth. Karma, yes, Neo, and karma is being sped up. So what is the fate of the Wendy Williams Show? Karma is definitely playing a part too. It is playing a part for Wendy. Karma is definitely playing a part for Wendy. And it's like, if you can dish it, you got to be able to take it, So what's the fate of the Wendy Williams Show? What's the fate of the Wendy Williams Show and Wendy Williams? What's the fate of the Wendy Williams Show and Wendy Williams? What's the fate of Wendy Williams and the Wendy Williams Show? That's how I'll say it. What's the fate of Wendy Williams and the Wendy Williams Show? What role will Wendy be playing in the Wendy Williams Show moving forward? That's how cancel people are. They choose the enemies sometimes. Friends close enemies closer. I agree, Lexine. That's actually a good point. Could it be her husband as one of the bad people in her life? It could be. I think it is, but when I saw those three people, I don't think one of those people were her husband. I think those are people who work for her, who have some type of vendetta against her. I don't know what it is. Not sure. But I feel like it would be something behind the scenes, something we don't know about. So I don't know if these three people had conflict with her, each individually, or if they're not getting paid enough. They feel like they're not getting paid enough, or maybe it's like their departments or their department. Like it's something about that. Like that's what I feel like. Yeah, something like that. All right. What will be the fate of the Wendy Williams show and Wendy Williams? What role will Wendy Williams be playing in the Wendy Williams show moving forward? Let's do one more shuffle. Hey Nick, what the people that was on her show before? Yeah, it's people that work behind the scenes. I feel like it's like the art department or whoever these people are. Like they have integral roles, but they're like small roles. So it's like the art department is kind of a small role on a TV show. I'm sorry, as compared to maybe wardrobe or something like that. Like I don't think it's someone in wardrobe. It could be someone in makeup, but I feel like if it's someone that does her makeup, it would be someone that isn't really consistent with her, or it's like whoever these people are, they don't have daily interaction with her. These three people, but they have enough interaction with her, or they have had enough interaction with her to warrant whatever they're doing in some way. Wendy has made a lot of enemies over the years, exactly, and I think that's what it is. She's just made a few enemies on her TV show. I get the Justice card here in the past, so I don't think they actually want to get rid of the Wendy Williams show, you guys. I think even though, there's a lot going on with Wendy, I think the Wendy Williams show is still a money maker and a money maker for the network it's on. I believe it's on Fox. But I think it's syndicated now, right? So it comes on a lot of different networks. So I think the Wendy Williams show, but I think the direction they're going in is a little bit up in the air. The direction they want to go in, the direction that's right. So once again, there's a lot on the table with the Wendy Williams show, all right, and the direction moving forward. Seven of Cups. There's going to be something where there's going to be a sense of nostalgia, wanting to go back to the past, wanting to go back to when things were right. And I feel like this is also not only the network or the people that make up the TV show, but also the audience, the watchers of the TV show. I feel like there's something about the Wendy Williams show where it's going to kind of start to take a turn, and I don't want to say turn for the worse, but it's going to take a turn in a new direction, and I think that new direction is going to be a little bit whatever new direction the Wendy Williams show is taking, it's going to be jarring for some of the people that watch. It's going to be jarring for the audience. And I think it's going to be kind of a jump the shark moment for the Wendy Williams show. And I think it's all due to a man, a king of wands here, a fire sign, Aries, Sagittarius, Leo. I feel like he's the spearhead of it all. But there's something about this where he wants to take it in a new direction. He wants to take the show in a new direction, I feel. Yeah, the death card. Oh no, Wendy. I get the death card with the two of swords. I feel like there's something where Wendy's being phased out. Wendy's being phased out and a new show is being phased in. I get the Six of Cups with the Nine of Wands. I think Wendy's being phased out and a new show is being phased in, slowly but surely. The Magician. I think they're going to do it in such a way where it seems natural, like, oh, okay, this is what it is now. This is the Wendy Williams show. And we kind of saw this coming. There were a lot of changes going on, so it's not like I don't feel like it's something that it's sprung on you. Like we see Wendy, today, and then we see a whole new panel tomorrow. I feel like it's going to be a slow, gradual kind of shift, change into a new TV show. And then I think once that happens, I think that's when Wendy's really going to start to crack. I think, and when I say crack, by the way, I'm okay. So, your mask is cracking, and I say this in a lot of my videos. Like, I think Wendy's mask is going to start to crack. And I think 4 months, 4 months. Something's going to happen in 4 months, you guys. That's what I feel. And then I think Wendy might even start to have more conflict with people behind the scenes, because I think it's going to start to no longer turn into her show about Wendy, or Wendy. It's going to be about how do we keep the show afloat? How do we keep our jobs? I think that's what's going to be about. So I think behind the scenes, once again, because I'm picking up a lot of energy behind the scenes. All right. This is the reading I'm giving you guys, and I've seen a lot of readers, do readings on Wendy. But behind the scenes, I feel like 4 months, the show's going to start to take a turn, and I feel like there's something where Wendy's no longer going to be the center of attention. I think that's going to be the hardest thing for her. I think that her employees are no longer going to start to kind of cater to her and make her the center of attention. I think that's also going to be hard for Wendy, because I think she's used to being, it's my show, this is all about me. I think they're looking for new, younger talent to take over the Wendy show. I think there is something about Wendy where she's going to kind of fight back. Not sure if that's the best thing to do, Wendy, because I think there is something as well where people are also a little bit fed up in some way or irritated. So be careful with fighting back, Wendy. I think the best way to fight back, Wendy, is to just show up every day, do your job, and kind of remind us of why we love you, but also being more forthright, being more honest with us, I think is very important. Not only for us, but for you too, because I think there is something about you where you struggle with being honest, or you struggle with being vulnerable, you struggle with being truthful. So I think this is a lesson for you on an individual level to open up more, to be more vulnerable, to not be afraid of sharing your truth, because you're going through a lot behind the scenes, and it's not just you and your husband, which I'm going to look into right now. It's you and your job and your career, and you being phased out, and you aging, and you struggling with a lot of emotional things, mental health things. So I understand, Wendy. I see it. Not big on Wendy, but did something happen? Child, Nick, there's been a lot happening, honey. But hey, Nick, how are you? Hey, Zuri, let me catch up with these comments real quick. It's on BET too. Yeah, I thought so. Like, I thought the Wendy Williams show was on a few networks. That might change too, by the way. Maybe it's her wardrobe department. Her clothes are not her best. Features are overdoing it, trying too hard. You know what? It could be her wardrobe department, but I don't think it is. Okay, so I actually watched the after shows, like I was saying. I don't think it's Morel. I don't think it is Wig, or no, Wig passed away a few years ago. I don't think it's her glam squad, her glam crew. I don't think it's them. Wendy's time is up. She's very dry and boring. Didn't TMZ report that they were replacing her show with something else? Ooh, child. Did they? Her and Nia Long might get a show. I love her. Oh my gosh, I love Nia Long, actually. She's awesome. I hope Wendy remembers that even when she is let go of, it is never the end for her. Thank you, Zuri. She can create something else magnificent. Yes, she should look at following other passions or ideas. Great, Lamarr. How you been? I've been a lot better, Nick. I'm snowed in at my aunt's house, but it was actually a really good thing for me to be here for 2 days. I had a lot of fun. So let's see. And I do think I agree, Zuri. I think Wendy would do well. I think this could actually be a blessing in disguise for Wendy. Because I think, no shade. I know a lot of us love the show. I think the show is becoming a burden for Wendy, unfortunately. So what's going on with Wendy and her husband? And then I think lastly, maybe I'll look into Wendy and her son, unless there's something else that comes up that I might want to look into. But what's going on with Wendy and her husband? It is a blessing in disguise. I think it is, Zuri. And blessing in disguises are often the hardest for us to kind of deal with and process. Because it comes off as the world is ending, oh my God, everything's falling apart. But once we get in the groove, it's like, oh, I needed that. So what's going on with Wendy and her husband, Kelvin? Because it or she is causing problems. Yes, the show. Exactly, Shaquana. Thank you. What's going on with Wendy and her husband? Yeah, I think the show's starting to cause problems for Wendy. I think Wendy is starting to cause problems for the show. And I think people are worried about, keeping their job. I think there are some people at the show who will keep their job at any cost, even if that means sacrificing Wendy, kicking her off the island. All right. Make sure you guys like the video, by the way. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new. All right, now let's do last shuffle. What's going on with Wendy and her husband, Kelvin? Because I also feel like there's something about her where, or not her, but there's something about the people at her job where I feel like there are certain people who are worried about job prospects if they were to lose the Wendy Williams show. So it's like, this is my only gig right now and my only steady gig. Maybe for some people, the only steady gig they've had in a while. Like, I feel like there's something where the TV show job thingy, the TV show job um, field is kind of drying up. I don't know if it's just drying up in general, or if it's just drying up in New York. But there's something about the Wendy Williams show being like one of the last surviving financially lucrative TV shows based out of New York. So you guys gonna have to let me know if that's accurate as well. But I just get that energy. Let's pull cards for Wendy and her husband. She might be a good producer or director. I agree. She will find something better not being in the spotlight, which contributes to the stress buildup. Exactly. The last couple of seasons made me seem like her health is declining and she's unhappy. I agree. It's just not the same anymore. And have you guys noticed she's been doing less after shows too? Like she used to do after shows every day back in the day. Here we have the Ace of Coins here in the past position. Okay, some money could be a factor here in Wendy and her husband. Nine of Wands. There is something about her husband where I think her husband has put Wendy in the past in his mind. I don't know if they're speaking right now, but I feel like her husband kind of, and this is really sad, but I'm getting that her husband doesn't really want to deal with the drama Wendy's going through right now. Like, I don't think her husband is there for her right now the way she needs him to be. Seven of Swords. So or the Six of Swords, I'm sorry. I also think there's something about Wendy where she's starting to have second thoughts about her relationship, her marriage. But with the Strength card coming out, I think even though she knows that there's trouble in paradise, I don't think she's going to be so quick to leave, unfortunately. But I think this is also a factor, Wendy, whatever's going on in your marriage. And unfortunately, we've seen quite a little bit of what's been going on, allegedly. All right. I think, Wendy, this is also going to be a factor in your health. All right. Your health. Holding on to this marriage is not good for your health. King of Coins, or the King of Cups. There's something about Kelvin as well, where I don't know if he's a drinker or if he has I feel like he has a way of getting you to drink. I feel like he has a way of getting you to do certain things that are bad for your health. So I feel like I almost get this energy where it's like if you're like stressed out and worked up, he's like, well, why don't you just take, a pill? Why don't you just take have a drink? Something like that. Not good, Wendy. Six of Cups here. The Justice card. So I do think there will be we will be hearing something about legalities here soon in a few months with the Justice card coming out. I feel like we're going to hear about Wendy moving forward, wanting to move forward with with a divorce. If it's not a divorce, it's separating her and Kevin in this marriage in some way. So I don't know if we'll hear about them untying their money, joint money or something like that, or something involving legalities here in the next few months between them. Her husband is dealing with the side chick all the time. Exactly. It's probably in the negotiating stage for next season, probably. Yeah, I think it could be Lexine. Fame is appealing, and whether a person works towards that goal or got into that life unexpectedly, having people on your tail is a vampire that sucks off your sanity. She needs to breathe. Exactly, Zuri. She needs to breathe. And not only, in terms of fame and the Wendy Williams show, but this marriage, you guys. She needs a breather from this marriage. But there is something about Wendy where she knows she knows what she needs to do with this marriage, and I think that this will be what I think this is the catalyst for Wendy stepping in her truth. So I think if there ever is a time where Wendy steps in her truth and is honest with us about what she's going through, I think it'll start with her marriage. Because I think honestly, this is the basis of a lot of her problems. Like, I just do. Because I get that she's having trouble at work, at the show, and when she comes home, she has trouble with her husband. So it's like she can literally never get a break, I feel. But I do feel something that could come up in the next few months regarding Wendy and her marriage. Something involving legalities, untying monies, untying something joint something. I hear joint custody. I don't know why that would show up because Kevin Jr., the son is like what, 18 or something like that. But I also feel like, okay, and I'm gonna say it, I'm gonna go for it. I feel like something could come up where Kevin has or had an outside child too. I get that energy as well. So, but I think, I don't think I don't think Kevin and Wendy are on the best terms right now. I don't see them spending a lot of time together, to be honest. I see Wendy in her home and in her house, but I don't see Kevin there, and I don't see Kevin Jr. there either. So interesting. Okay, but I think that's the cause of a lot of her problems is, Wendy and her husband. Let's see what's going on with Wendy, lastly, and her son. Because we haven't heard about her son in a while. Has anyone heard about her son? If they can kick Roseanne off her show, nobody is safe in the media. Hey, thank you, Lexine. The truth shall set us all free, and freedom feels like this pure winter air that is refreshing to be in. Exactly. It did come up several times about him having side babies. Ooh, child. Well, I think there could be something that comes out where it's like proof. Like, okay, he definitely had a side baby, okay, and there's definitely a paternity test. So, like, something like that, where it's like, for sure, like, we may even see the child. But I feel like there's something about this child where they're a little bit older than we would expect. So, what's going on with Wendy Williams and her son, Kevin Jr.? What's going on between Wendy Williams and her son, Kevin Jr.? What's going on with Wendy's son, Kevin Jr.? My question is, how is she raising her son through this? Exactly, that's what I'm trying to see. What's going on with Wendy Williams and her son? Wendy deserves a better marriage with a man who does not play ping pong with side chicks. Exactly. Thank you, Zuri. Uh-oh, the child in the past. So I don't think Wendy and her son had the best moments in the past. I think they may have actually had like a big fight at some point. I think the son's not in the home. I think it may be a good thing, actually, that the son's not in the home. There's something about the son being in the home with Wendy where it was just a bit toxic. I think the son might also be a source of pain in some way for Wendy. I think the son's not in the home. Did Wendy kick the son out? Because I get the energy of him being like kicked out or being pushed out, something like that. I think the last time I heard about the son, he went to college. I think the son was a source of pain for Wendy, a source of issue or toxicity in some way. I know, like I was saying at the beginning of the video, you know, he was on K2, he did K2, something like that. Uh-oh, these three people are showing up again. Oh no. I think Wendy stopped bringing her son around the TV show too, to be honest. I think she stopped bringing him to the TV show. I think the son needs to be careful with substances. You know, I'm not sure if he's clean because this shows up and this deals with depression. This deals with substance abuse, mental issues, you know, or drinking, something like that. So I'm not sure. I think the son may be dealing with depression in some way as well. But there's something about Wendy, the son, and the husband where they're all three dealing with their own issues individually, alone, but they're not really sharing it or expressing it together or with each other like a family should, you know, quote unquote. So I feel like there's a disconnect between Wendy and the son, Wendy and the husband. And I want to say the husband and the son too, although the husband and the son feel a bit closer than Wendy and the son. The Hanged Man. I think Wendy and the son may not be on the best terms. I don't feel like they talk a lot, to be honest. And I just feel like a disconnect between the two of them. So I'm not sure, you know, what is going on with the son. We have not heard about him, you know, in a while. What's up? We haven't heard about him in a while. So I think Wendy still loves the son, of course. It's interesting because I feel like there could be something in the show where like Wendy goes to visit the son at college or something like that. But I feel like it's all a ploy, not a ploy, or it's all like a plot to kind of make Wendy seem once again like the family woman that we always have known her to be. Because she used to always talk about her son and her husband and what she did over the weekend with her family and how she went to, you know, Burger King with her son and they sat in the parking lot and ate and talked. You know, those moments, right? So I think there's something where I feel like the son's gonna make a return, but he's gonna make a return in a very razzle dazzle, you know, kind of ta-da way, where it's not really a personal touch. It's like very showy, very okay. This is the Wendy Williams show, and we're gonna go visit my son at college, something like that. That's what I feel. But I think there's something where the son will grow up, and I think the son will eventually crack and speak his truth. That's what I feel with the son. Oh, Wendy, this was a tough reading. This is a lot. A lot going on with Wendy. Wendy definitely deserves better. Wendy has had a lot of problems with substance abuse, and she may pass that along. And that is why I think the pain comes from. I think so. You know, with her son, I think so, and I think her son is getting at an age too where he's becoming an adult. So when we become adults, we go through things and we tend to keep things to ourselves. But we all know keeping things to ourselves, keeping things bottled in tends to make us a little bit irritated, ornery with people, or not as open or forthright. So what I get from Wendy is it's like the people she loves the most, the people that surround her the most, aren't forthright with her, with their emotions and how they feel, her husband and her son. So she doesn't know how to be the same way with other people. It's almost like, my own husband, my own child, can't do this with me. How can I do this with the public? It's kind of like that's what I get with Wendy. So I think there is a lot of pain that Wendy needs to work through. All right. I think the TV show, and the outcome of the TV show, whatever the outcome will be, I think will be for the best for Wendy. All right. So I think Wendy, whatever happens, take it as a blessing in disguise, and turn around and revamp yourself, rebrand yourself, make it a new Wendy. That's what I feel with Wendy Williams, you guys. All right. I don't know. Let's see what lasting message the angels have for Wendy. Let's just do one more spread to see what lasting messages the angels can give us about Wendy. What lasting message do the angels, the ancestors, and protectors have for Wendy? I get the Nine of Swords here in the past. This all stems from Wendy, you wanting to ignore your problems, not wanting to face the truth, not wanting to face the music. Hey. Two of Cups here. Wendy's gonna have to do what she needs to do in concerns to her marriage, her love life. There's some choices that Wendy has to make if she wants to turn things around. Once again, she's putting her money first. Her money is her biggest worry. I get this fire sign man once again. She's also going to have to make some apologies to certain people that she may have pissed off as well. Eventually. So I don't know. I feel like, Wendy may not come out with the truth until, she hits rock bottom, And then by then, will people care, Oh, Wendy. Wendy needs to press the reset button with some M&Ms and Snickers on the side for celebration and a new path being taken. Exactly, Zuri. That's what I think too. I think Wendy just needs to embrace the changes going on right now. I don't, while it's not easy, I think, definitely surrounding yourself with people, who truly love you. And like her parents. I think right now her parents are probably the best people she can be around right now. I will never foresee her saying sorry to anyone. She may do it behind the scenes. I feel like Wendy's gonna have a moment of where she just has a come to Jesus moment, and she realizes, like, wow, I've done certain things, I've said certain things. Maybe I need to apologize. Maybe I need to do something to make it right, even if it's asking for forgiveness. So, well, for her to move forward, she needs to make wrongs done into rights. Exactly, that's what I'm saying, Zuri. What are you looking for?
My mom said it was a black culture too. Or a two-person. She said you might have used it. Did you use it?
It was American.
On that table?
Yeah. She doesn't seem like that type of person to me. Not right now, at least. No, Wendy does not seem like that type of person. But like I was saying, 4 months, 4 years from now, who knows? Hey, Christine. By the way, if you guys want a personal reading, make sure you contact me on my website, lamartownsend@tarot.com. I am available for personal readings. Let me post the link right now. But the link's also in the description box as well. Or you can just type in Lamarr Townsend Tarot on Google and I will show up. What's on the surface does not speak to what's within. Exactly. You know what I keep seeing is her interview with Whitney Houston. Could it be that karma's playing out, you know, for how she kind of treated Whitney? You're looking good today, Lamarr. Thank you, Christine. I appreciate that. Yes. Thank you so much. So this has been the Wendy Williams channeling. This has been the Wendy Williams reading. Thank you guys so much for being here. Wendy, I don't know. I'm going to miss the after shows, I think. You know, hopefully, you know, whatever direction you end up going in, you end up working more with YouTube, because I would like to see you more on YouTube doing after shows. You know, I like that personal touch from Wendy, but I just like when she's honest with us. You know, even back in the after show, you know, Wendy would cry, you know, like out of the blue, like she was very vulnerable, you know. But now she's very closed up and closed off. So we can't relate to that, Wendy, you know, unfortunately. So I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit the bell next to the subscribe button so that you get a notification whenever I go live. Once again, if you would like a personal reading from me, make sure you check out my website, lamartownsendtarot.com. This has been Wendy Williams. All right. We love you, Wendy, but we want the best for you as well. So on this channel, we are sending you love and light. So I love you guys. Until the next reading. Stay warm, stay blessed, no stress. And remember, contact me for a reading on my website, lamartownsendtarot.com.